rounds. I saw your messages in the chat. I was perplexed when I got the message in the alert that Rory McIlroy is going to a playoff. And I was like, what the hell is Justin Rose doing in the playoff? Yeah. Where did he come from? So tell me what the hell happened yesterday.
Listen, what happened was Rory walked into Masters Sunday with a 2-stroke lead over Bryson DeChambeau. And Rory gave away that 2-stroke lead in the snap of a finger. If you were late to turn your TV on their tee time at 2:30 p.m., you missed when, after 2 holes, Bryson DeChambeau had a 1-stroke lead over Rory McIlroy. He double bogeyed 1. Rory McIlroy, it gets lost in all of this because of how crazy the second 9 was and the overtime hole was. Rory McIlroy double bogeyed 1, and Bryson saved par on 1.
So this is why I say it feels so much like a Disney Channel movie, because we go into it all rooting for Rory. Rory has the lead going into Sunday. Mm-hmm. He's paired up with this other guy who I know you say is not the villain, but at the very least he is a guy that is a bit of the antithesis to what Rory is, specifically because of their affiliations with the Pro Tours.
Rory is pro PGA to the core. He hates LIV. He hates what it did to the game.
Yeah.
And Bryson is the biggest success story from LIV Golf, of course.
And instantly he walks out there with his shoestrings untied and trips over himself, and it becomes like we start to wonder, oh, did he just unravel again, but this time like in the snap of a fingers, before we even got going?
Yes, it's like in any sports movie you think of, there's a big tragedy before the big game. Think about The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler version of it, where Chris Rock died. Yeah, that happened. Also, Patches, I'm trying to think of everyone who died, but in Dodgeball, when Patches dies.
What about when Chris Brown died like 2 seconds into You Got Served, even though he was the main freaking actor that everybody was promoting? He dies like as soon as the movie starts.
Yeah, or who is it? In Scream, the main cast member I brought up Scream twice in the first 10 minutes of the show, which is really weird. Exactly. The main actress in Scream, very famous actress. She's also in
Jennifer Lopez.
50 First Dates. She also
Jessica Alba.
Very close, and it really stinks that I can't get her name correct.
Aniston.
Not Aniston. We're very
Sarah
close.
Sarah Hathaway.
No.
Margot Robbie would be too young.
No. Yeah, it's okay.
Definitely not Sydney Sweeney because they kept their tops on in that movie.
Crazy things happen immediately, like when you have a big climactic event, you're building to the entire movie, and then disaster strikes the main character, which Rory McIlroy really is the main character of golf right now. Tiger is the face of it. If you talk from a mainstream perspective, he gets other people interested in golf. That's why the ratings will still be better in 2019. But for anyone who considers himself a golf fan, Rory's the main character.
He is. He absolutely is. And after 19 holes yesterday, he finally got the main prize in golf, which is the Masters Championship, which is the green jacket, which is him completing the career Grand Slam, his being only the 6th golfer all time to do so. But the stat that actually surprised me the most, CCAT, and we'll get into how he got there, I didn't realize that it's like in modern golf, it's just him and Tiger Woods that have done it.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Like what? I don't know why I just assumed it had to have happened more, and I wonder if part of that is due to the dominance of Tiger Woods. It's like the more majors he won, the less that was available for guys like Phil Mickelson and any of the other like greats of this time. But like, damn, it's that rare of a feat. I get why it felt like there was such a huge monkey on brother's back.
Yeah, it seriously was, especially because the first 3 bases of that Grand Slam happened so close together so long ago.
Yep.
He still felt like an underdog despite achieving something that proves him to be rarefied air, only 6 people in history. And honestly, those earlier names on that list, like these tournaments weren't near the legacy builders that they were now.
Yeah, it's totally different. Like the way that with Nicklaus, Rory, and Tiger, them doing it feels different than those before them. Here's the question I have for you, and then we can get into how we got here from this weekend. Rory McIlroy's win, it coming in a similar fashion to the epic collapses he's had in recent majors, it coming in similar fashions to his epic collapses specifically at Augusta. Does it give you more or less confidence in the 35-year-old golfer's like latter end of his career from here going forward as he approaches these other major championships, as he approaches these other tournaments that have a lot on the line? Did you gain confidence from him finally breaking through at the Masters, or is it the opposite because of how he got there? 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. It is a Motion Monday here on Theoretically Speaking. It is the Monday following the Masters, which we have a newly minted member of Augusta National Golf Club. 888-760-3776. You watched the Disney Channel movie. You saw the man get crowned. But was it enough? Did it impress you? Or was it much of the same? Let us know on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. CCAT, can I just hear it? Can I hear the moment that we all learned that Rory McIlroy finally got it done? The playoff hole against Justin Rose. It was, how far was this putt?
This was like a 2.5-footer. This was eerily similar to his second very close miss that gave Bryson DeChambeau the U.S. Open, blowing that chance for Rory to break the major drought.
So, second time the charm. Take a listen.
The long journey is over. McIlroy has his masterpiece.
And what's beautiful about this, well done by CBS, is that Jim Nantz says maybe 5 words in the next 6 minutes. They let the picture do the talking because the picture and the video was worth 1,000 words.
And that's what I can appreciate about great broadcasters, people who have a level of they know how to meet the moment and they know how to never overstep the moment. And it's one of the many things that I learned through osmosis from our guy Ken Levicka here, who is obviously the play-by-play voice of Florida Atlantic University, the Owls men's basketball team, as well as football. One of the things I learned through him was how to better consume some of these great broadcasters like the Jim Nantz of the world, and how there's people who make their name and try to make their hay and over talking it or adding to it. This is part of the reason why people have kind of turned a little bit on Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Because he kind of tries to,
especially when he compared to the guy who's sitting to his left in Jim Nantz.
Yeah. And this was not meant to be an anti-Tony Romo take. It's more of an appreciation to Nantz. But sometimes you got to learn when to shut up in this business. Sometimes you got to learn when to let the moment speak for itself. And this was one of those. This was one of those that we all knew the background. You know, if Romo was up there with him, he would have been listing out all of the major accomplishments.
Jim, that putt was just like the U.S. Open. I mean, the side-by-side's ridiculous, Jim. Oh, he's going to hug his kid.
Yeah.
His name's Poppy. That's Poppy, his daughter. Oh, wait, I thought they got divorced, Jim. Oh, they're still together? Oh, that's nice.
That would have been Romo in that moment. I am glad that he is sticking to football coverage, and I'm glad that Nantz is comfortable in his own skin and knows how to be a consummate pro in that spot right there.
Well, to answer your question about whether or not you feel more confident in Rory going forward or the same or less, I kind of feel the same, and that is uneasy because there is an easy yellow brick road paved, stress-free Masters championship on the way for Rory once Bryson melted down.
Yeah.
Like he had a 5-stroke lead, just had to play par golf, actually had a couple of strokes to spare, by the way. He could have bogeyed a couple of holes, just not a complete and utter collapse like we saw on the second 9 going double bogey on 13. Listen, so the 13th hole, it's my favorite hole in golf, and seeing it firsthand, it made me realize how cool it really is, how it's like a race car track with how the elevation just slants from right to left. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a par 5, and these pro golfers often try to go for the green on their second shot on the par 5s. Those are their scoring opportunities. That's when they can really get on the green in 2 and putt for eagle, and worst shot, putt for birdie on the tap-in. He didn't go for it. He was smart. He wasn't aggressive. He had a 5-stroke lead. Why would you need to risk hitting it into the water when you have such a lead like that? He lays up, but on his third shot, a short little wedge shot, Very easy. A lot of green to work with. Very small room for error. He somehow hits it into the water. He misses his spot by like 50 feet into the water, and then he misses. He had a 2-putt on the green as well.
That's all nerves, man.
It's all nerves. So he melts down, bogeys in the next hole, and still walked on to 18 with a chance to par for the win, and hits it into the sand on his approach into 18 too, and was not able to get up and down from the bunker. He still melted down.
Yeah.
Kind of got lucky because Bryson DeChambeau was not there. This does not make me feel optimistic about the rest of these majors for Rory McIlroy. He's not going to go. Yes, the monkey got off his back, but he still blew it. Like, he did not win this in 72 holes. It still took an overtime hole. It took a beautiful shot in the overtime hole. It took a beautiful shot on 15 to bounce back from a double bogey on 13 and a bogey on 14. When he had to make the hero shot, he sure did. But he just doesn't know how to just hold a lead and continue. How boring last year's Masters was, that's because of how competent and how like a Terminator Scotty Scheffler is.
Yeah.
Because once he got a 2-stroke lead over Ludwig Oberg, cruise control. Just easy going, play for par, win the tournament, boring, yawn. We saw this 2 years ago. No, Rory makes it interesting. And he won't get this lucky each and every major down the stretch that also his playing partner also collapses.
Isn't that fun, though? Is that not more fun to watch?
Oh, it's spectacular.
Especially when it's not your money on the line, right? Especially when it's not your legacy that hangs over each swing of the clubs. Like Rory McIlroy with the great moments and the epic failures of his career. And again, this past decade where if you asked us a decade ago, like how many majors does Rory win over the next 10 years? It would have been like, probably 2 or 3. Like how many span of years was it between his first
had to be
4
less
majors?
Than 3 or less.
Like 3 or less years where he kind of just spiked right there and the Tiger conversation sparked, right? Like that's what happens with every great young golfer in this era is it starts to peak its ugly head. Could this be the precipice of a Tiger-esque run? And it wasn't. It was actually the precipice of a Tiger-esque drought.
Yeah.
Which he broke just before he would have surpassed Tiger's major drought. So
exactly. It was similar to Jordan Spieth, where when he jumped on the scene, he was so young, the youngest to win several different tournaments on tour and in the majors. Except Jordan was not as consistently great, but not winning majors. Rory is consistently great. He's always in contention. He's always winning tournaments outside of those majors these past decade, but he wasn't quite winning the majors and completing that Grand Slam.
Speaking of folding, speaking of missing the moment,